Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome back to the Bhakti House. Today, I've got just a bunch of updates for you guys on some things. We've been a little lax on our programming, and of course, we knew that this was going to pretty much be the case this first year. So here in 2026, I guess basically, I guess this is something that you could expect to kind of see more of as we kind of go throughout this year. The the purpose of this year with the Bhakti House is more than anything to get some consistency going and to drive some consistency in terms of like our programming and some of the different things we do. So if you've noticed, we've done our Friday night kirtans, we do our Saturday rest and retreats, and then we also do our Sunday satsang and feast usually. So usually, I mean, typically what we will do in the future once we actually open our doors up to the public is on Sundays we will have a full-on program with prasadam that is just very nice prasadam actually, and then um, we'll also have some uh, other things that we'll be doing as well. So like Friday night kirtans will be a regular thing. Saturday rest and retreats will be a regular thing with our yoga program and everything as well. We'll also have some regular daily programs that we will start to implement probably in 27 at some point. I don't know exactly when that will be, or at least in 2020. I have kind of an idea, just a general idea in terms of what, as far as our resources and everything go right now, kind of what's possible and everything. So I guess what I would tell you, like in this year, is you guys are really here, helping out, helping support the community, helping drive direction in terms of like kind of what the direction of the Bhakti House is going to be like, kind of moving forward. And so, whatever feedback and everything that you guys give is, super important, for our, continuance, for moving forward and everything. So I wouldn't say that, and I've talked with devotees here locally, um, just like in recent months or so, and we are now in April, so this is actually April the 5th or the 5th of April, 2026, and things are progressing nicely. I mean, we are getting some things done. I had sort of a vision for, in terms of how to direct the Bhakti House and to get programming and everything kind of implemented. But also, a lot of that includes just having some connection with all of you, connections with others to kind of get perspective and to drive ideas home and to just really make this an open and accepting community for just anyone, and that's essentially what our main priority is. Of course, bhakti is the heart of everything that we do. It's kind of our, I guess you would say, core philosophy. And in the general sense, bhakti is really about love devotion to the divine, but also to each other, to devotees, to other people in general, to just everyone, animals included, So it's just about like love and doing service, helping out, and doing it all from the heart, and uh, and cultivating that sense of bhakti within each of us. So if you go to the website today, you'll see that it's a lot different than it was probably back in January. We've got more blogs. We've been doing a lot of programming and stuff, just kind of at the local level with some of the holidays and different things that we've been putting together. Um, Today, for those of you that are local, you probably noticed that if you did show up at the Sikh temple and stuff, where we've been listening to their kirtans and just kind of collectively gathering just to share company together. Satsang means godly company or truthful company, a company of truthfulness. That's kind of the idea behind us kind of getting together at the Sikh temple. It's a place where we can publicly meet. Um, their philosophy more or less sort of kind of aligns with ours quite nicely, with the exception of just having like a personal relationship with God, basically. And the and of course they have the prasadam and everything, so we can sit and we can talk and we can just enjoy each other's company and all these kind of things as well nicely. And you know that's pretty much maybe where we'll kind of continue on at least throughout the rest of this year. And in fact, if you look at our meetup group, you'll see that we've actually implemented that as kind of like just pretty much the norm. So for anyone that wants to come out and wants to participate and everything, feel welcome. Now today I was not there. This was a Easter holiday. I had some other engagements, other plans and things kind of that I had to attend to. And so that's where, life kind of took me at today. Some of the announcements or things that I wanted to talk about today are, and this is probably not going to be a typical satsang day where I go into deep discussion on like Shastra and scriptures and different things on that end. It's more just going to be more just an update, kind of get you guys kind of in the loop and to stay connected with all of you. So we've been putting together some different resources for the Bhakti House. These are things that I knew at the beginning, at the onset, just having developed other communities in the past and being a part of other communities. I knew that these kind of things would be important kind of for our long-term continued sustainable growth. And so these are the kind of things that I've kind of made priority to kind of put together on the front end of the house. So it's kind of like giving us some structure, giving us some direction, and also just making our programming and the way that we can serve the community and other human beings on this planet a little bit easier, a little bit nicer. So one of the things that we've put together is a couple of books. So we have this book here. Um, this is the Bhakti House Cookbook, Sacred Vegetarian Recipes for Devotional Living. I put together this for you guys. You can get this actually on Amazon, and if you want the direct link to this, you can actually just go to thebhaktihouse.org, and there's a link to the actual Amazon page. You can order it right off of Amazon. All of the monies and everything go directly to the Bhakti House, and so we've published it through the Bhakti House and everything. Published it through the Bhakti House and everything. You can see that, and it's this cookbook is something that's kind of important, I think, just as we do programming, because cooking, they have called us in the past. It's been kind of colloquially termed the kitchen religion. We do a lot of cooking and we distribute a lot of prasadam, and that is definitely a big part of what we do at the Bhakti House. So for that reason, you really need a compilation of recipes and everything put together that are easy to put out for the community, but also very tasty and of course, and so that's what we've done here. I've created a unique system for rolling out the recipes to make things very, very simple, very, very easy. And it's a spice-based methodology where we have a collection of our different spice blends that are put together. And as people are cooking, everything kind of stays, you know, the same. I mean, there's a consistency to it. So if everyone's using the exact same spice blends when cooking the preparations in the same quantities, well, it would make sense that the food would relatively stay pretty on point, right? So we can have that consistency kind of moving forward. That book shares all of our deep recipes and everything like that. We don't really hide them or anything. Even our bhakti spice recipe is in there. So for those of you that are members and stuff, and that have gotten your hands on some of the bhakti spice for cooking like your own meals and offering those to Krishna out of your home, even that recipe's in there. So I mean, again, we're not really hiding anything. We're just putting this together as a nice recipe book for anyone that wants to share these recipes with other people through cooking them. So that's really it. If you cook and then you offer to Krishna and stuff, and then you distribute the prasadam, that's a really great thing. And if this book will help, encourage that and put that forward, then the Bhakti House is very happy to have you cook those recipes and enjoy them yourself, but also and enjoy them with other people, your family and your friends and other communities. So that's another big thing that we put together. It's not a huge book or anything like that, but it's very efficiently put together. I mean, there's some really great recipes in here that are great for like the morning meals, like that we cook here at the Bhakti House. Great for our lunchtime meals, kind of our heavier meals, and then lighter meals like at dinner time are in here as well. So you get a lot of that, and everything from North Indian to South Indian preparations. A lot of Punjabi recipes um, that we've sort of adopted as kind of our mainstay here at the Bhakti House. So that's the cookbook, and again, you can just go to bhaktihouse.org. I'll have that in the description below this video just so that you guys can actually get access to it. And, kind of general direction. Some of you might know, I don't know if I've really publicize this too much or not, but I'm a bit of a linguist. I've studied languages and linguistics for many years, and I've put together many different types of programs whereas language is concerned. And so someone had asked me, a devotee that needed help with learning some Hindi, and a couple of devotees actually. I've had multiple devotees actually want help with it, and I will be the first person to tell you guys that um, learning a language, it's it can be confusing at the onset. People don't really know exactly the best way to approach it. You've got apps now like Duolingo, AI programs where you can speak into it and it'll speak back to you, and all these other really crazy, amazing tools and technologies that we have. And of course, immersion is of course important. People always say, "Well, if I could just go to India and I could be around other Hindi speakers and I could spend 6 months there, I would learn the language and be able to do it." But that's just not possible for me at this time. Or maybe I'm just kind of connected to like a local satsang group. And that satsang group, some of the devotees there may be Indian devotees, and they're speaking Hindi so nicely, and I just don't know what they're saying and everything. And it would just be nice to be more connected to them and being able to connect with them a little bit easier. Or maybe you are Indian and your culture, your family members and everything know Hindi very nicely, but you grew up in the West and maybe you just didn't have the opportunity or really take the time to learn Hindi, didn't really see much need in it. Maybe as you've gotten a little bit older and your heart's kind of reconnected to Indian culture and everything, on the Vedas and so on, or you want to be able to read the Devanagari script quite nicely and easily, so you can, whether it's Sanskrit or Hindi or Marathi or Gujarati or Punjabi or any of these. Well, not Punjabi; it's a little bit different script, and even Gujarati a little bit different. But basically, by and large, it would help you at least to get an ear for the other Indian languages and stuff out there as well. Well, then learning how to study would be kind of an important thing, I would say. And so what I've done is I've actually put together a book, a couple of books I've put together around this very topic. And I have approached learning Hindi itself from a couple of different, from the same method, but just different or different tools kind of do it. So uh, if I were me, I would just say that, I'd probably just pick up all three books that I have out currently and make use of those three books. And I think that that would pretty much, you know, help you with learning the language really, really quickly and becoming fluent, fairly quick. And when I say fluency, I just mean, the ability to go and have a conversation, understand what someone else is saying, and then being able to understand what you're saying. One of the hardest things is, of course, you can take vocabulary list of words and you can learn some basic grammar rules. And you can say, okay, well, okay, I'm beginning to memorize this list of words. I'm beginning to get these sentence structures, subject, object, verb, or you know, like in Hindi, and I'm kind of beginning to understand this. I know like agar, if, or I know like are, like and ya is like or, so I know like some of these connector words so that I can connect a sentence to another sentence and make like a compound sentence and these kind of things. I know all this, I should be pretty good. Well, the problem is in practice, right? So when you actually go to start communicating and talking to someone in Hindi or any language for that matter, you realize that um, wow, I just don't really know enough to really have that communication or that connection. I'm not able to just naturally speak, and that can be the problem. You can listen to all the Bollywood movies in the world, you can listen to all the Hindi podcasts and so on, which I definitely recommend while learning language. And that can also even really more or less take the place of like the whole immersion thing of like being dropped off in India and then just, kind of being forced to learn the language. But even in India, you would find that many people that speak English would talk to you in English. And so even though you try to speak to them in Hindi, they're trying to practice their English. So, you may still not be successful even in that regard. So I don't have all of the books on me exactly at the moment, but I put together this one, which I really highly recommend. If you get any of them, I definitely would recommend definitely getting this one first. This is Learn Hindi Through Understanding. It's a complete system, speaking, thinking, and connecting with clarity and Bhakti, of course, we're the Bhakti House. This book was also published through the Bhakti House. All the monies and everything that are generated from the sale of this book go 100% to the Bhakti House. So it's a way for us to at some point, hopefully, be able to be more self-sustained. And yeah, you can see here even like the Bhakti House. I don't know if you guys can see that. If it's Yeah, so it's a little bit blurry there. So because of the maybe you can see it now. But anyways, the we put this together. I really like this book. If I was going to learn Hindi all over again and stuff, this would be the book that I would want to study more than any other book. And the reason being is because this teaches you sentence structure, but it also teaches you a unique system that I've put together, that I've created. Having studied linguistics and so on for so many years, that would actually help you to more quickly become fluent, to have that conversation with someone. Um, and it's a pattern-based approach. And so I've got another book that's also pattern-based, and then I've got another one too that is that we've created through the Bhakti House, that is on Bollywood movies, and it's how to learn by watching Bollywood movies, and how that exactly would work, and how I would personally go about recommending structuring that. All of them kind of work through my own personal system. They just get adopted in slightly different ways that may be more beneficial or helpful, as you're listening to like podcasts or Bollywood movies. That particular book would probably help you more in that capacity. So anyway, so if you like learning and you just want to study a different language, you can definitely do that. I've studied a lot of different books on Hindi before ever putting together this book. Of course, there's let's see if I can find it here. Let's see it. So many different books. Yeah, well, I don't see it right off the top of my head here. This is well, guys, I apologize. Oh, yeah, it's actually right here. Simon Wright, I believe. Rupert Snell. So this is classic. This is a classic Hindi book. This is one that many people turn to when learning Hindi and stuff. And it's a very nice book. There's a lot of grammar rules and different things in here as well. There's some uh, it's progressive too. It teaches you a little at a time. Not a bad book for like learning the Devanagari script either. Um, Although I think you'll be better off maybe with like this one personally. And I'm not saying that because I wrote it. I'm just saying because um, this is gonna help you to very quickly uh, you know understand the Hindi sound system. Be able to write the Devanagari letters and vowels, matras, and all that, and Yangjan, and it just goes into nice detail and everything on it. This also helps you learn the vocabulary nicely, but it also does it in a very natural way where you don't actually have to go study a bunch of lists, use a whole rote memorization method or anything like that. Again, like if I was going to really learn Hindi or recommend learning Hindi to someone, this Bhakti House book would be the one that I would actually recommend. So you can get that if you just like to learn. So another benefit to learning Hindi is that it opens you up to not only being able to travel to India and communicate um, with the huge cross section of the population. It's a national language in India, um, and it's used. A lot of English words are actually used in modern day Hindi now. This book here will help you understand, really how to think and how to communicate effectively in Hindi very, very quickly, and all through our term-based approach. So, yeah, and it's very systematically put together. So if you study that book, I think you'll be really good. And of course, you have access to me too if you want to connect with me through the Bhakti House. Always happy to help a devotee or any one of you guys to learn Hindi. But it also opens you up to like Sanskrit, studying Sanskrit, which is very useful when studying Shastra. And then you can see some derivations of how different uh, uh, words from Sanskrit have actually trickled down into other Indian languages, such as Hindi, for example. So that's another thing. We have some other news as well. Give me just 1 second. Oh, here it is. All right. So the other thing that we have that we've also put together is another book. It's called The Relationship Secret. And guys, this is not all of the books. I mean, if you want more of an idea of the different books we've put together, you can actually go to thebhaktihouse.org and you can actually, kind of see what we've been putting together. And these have been being updated pretty quickly this year. We've been really, you know, using a lot of our time to, create these resources for the Bhakti House and to help people in general. So this is the relationship secret: how bhakti changes the way we love, how to attract the right relationship, build love that lasts, and understand the paradox of attraction. Um, this is a book that's all about having a bhakti relationship. Um, when it says the relationship secret, it really is the secret behind relationships. If you've ever struggled with attracting someone to you, if you've ever struggled with keeping a relationship going for more than a couple of weeks or a month or two or however long, um, if you have any anxiety or stress about relationships, if you would like a relationship and you want it to be meaningful and one that will, stand the test of time and last, um, definitely recommend this book. It takes you through so many different things. It talks about the paradox of attraction and so many different. Um, but this book here is definitely one that you might want to get your hands on. It's very bhakti minded and stuff. We've got a tells you a little bit more about it. You can probably see this on Amazon as well. But kind of it's been kind of branded like the other books, kind of like our Bhakti House brand and everything, kind of the blue, silver, Yale blue and silver and stuff, and a color scheme. You can kind of see that showing through here and stuff as well. And of course, our cookbooks even got like the Yale blue and stuff like in the backdrop there. So we're trying to keep things nice and consistent and organized and clean. So yeah, that's pretty much been it, devotees. We've been really more or less working on a lot of the resources. I've got another course that is in the works. We have an online store that's also in the works to kind of help raise money for the Bhakti House so that we can kind of more or less get our programs going, and hopefully by the end of the year, have enough money saved up that we can get the conditional use permit um, done so that we can actually open the Bhakti House to the public, be able to afford insurance for 2027 when we open our doors to the public. And we have some other things we need to do with our electric box and stuff. That's going to be around $12,000 or $13,000, maybe even a little bit more, according to the electrician estimates that we've gotten. And at some point, we need to work on our parking lot, getting it striped and all, so that we're in compliance with the city's requirements and different things. And then another thing that we need to do is get with the fire marshal and get that stuff situated. We have like exit signs, um, fire systems and different things that have to be updated and brought up to code. And then we need to get the fire extinguishers and different things like that hung at the right height level and stuff throughout the building and in the right places for safety, of course. Public safety is huge when operating any kind of a space for the public where the public will gather. And then just enhancing our kitchen so that it's kind of uh, brought up to the standard that we need it to be more like commercial and everything in terms of having people over so we can have food and everything on that end. So these are all things, of course, they cost money. And so all of your donations and support, all the memberships, everything that you guys do brings us one step closer. So if you don't think that your $5 or $10 or whatever is going to do any good in helping us out, trust me, it will be. No amount of money is too small to help us get things operational. But in the meantime, we're not, you know, uh, being defeated. We're not, getting down on ourselves or anything like that. We use it as an opportunity to serve Krishna in so many different other ways as well. So, like for example, the books we put together, and we have some courses, some upcoming courses that will be happening as well through the Bhakti House, which some of you have given some really great ideas on and stuff. So for putting together. And we also have another book on the website you can check out too. It's our harmonium. Uh, it's the Bhakti House Harmonium Guide. It's how to play by ear and everything. And we teach you. We're basically teaching kirtan through the harmonium to teach people how to play kirtan and bhajans and everything by ear. And it's a pretty powerful resource as well, I would say. And I definitely recommend that as well. If you're just kind of in the mood to pick up some books to learn some new skills, it's probably something that I think you'd get a lot of value from and all. And it took us a long time to, outline and structure and put together. And, we use a lot of different learn templates and different things. And so when we're putting this content together to teach you how to do things, um, you know, there's thought and process put into it to help people learn easier and everything as well. So, like if you're learning Hindi, for example, we take you methodically through the learning process in the simplest, easiest way possible to get you up to speed as quickly as humanly possible, and that's it. So, okay, devotees, what else can I say? We had a wonderful feast here at the Bhakti House today. What did we do? Just we actually had like a bhakti pizza. If you want to call it bhakti pizza, Krishna friendly pizza, and some Krishna friendly ice cream as well. And so it's just kind of a feast day, but a little bit different. It wasn't a lot of Indian food today, so it's just kind of like some heavier food, kind of heavy on the stomach and that. But it's sometimes it's okay to deviate a little bit, especially on a day like a feast day. Yesterday, of course, was a fasting day. I try to fast every Saturday, and that was a good experience also. Just water and just some tea, and about all I had yesterday. So no food at all. And then today, it's like even with eating what I thought was quite a lot, several helpings, I would say, it was still probably in the scheme of things not that much in actuality, just because my stomach after the fast it's kind of like shrunk, so it's like you're not as hungry, and it doesn't take as much to really fill you up. So yeah, there's that. um Things in the works. So one of the things that I am currently working on, if you guys would like to know, uh, and this is one reason why the blog may suffer a little bit. Updating the events as well as I should will probably suffer a little bit, just because of this. There's only so many hours in a day and so much work a monk can do. And so the um, but it's important to get these preliminaries out of the way so that we have things that we can offer people, and they help with our programming, which is a really, really big thing when you're starting a community. You want to have your programming very organized and very well put together, and that takes time, and it takes tweaking things and testing things, and um, just so many different things go into it. So, but one of the things that I'm currently working on now, though, is our yoga series, and this is for like hatha yoga from through the lenses of bhakti. And this is something that I have conceptualized and thought about for several years now, and how to actually go about best putting this together to where the hatha yoga positions, the asanas flow really nicely for everyone. And it gives people an opportunity on a daily basis, Monday through Sunday, to be able to do exercises, yoga postures through the lens of bhakti, and be able to offer that as an offering, uh, to help each other and stuff, to help your health and everything and well-being, but also to help your offerings to Krishna, your spiritual development, and so on. So there's a lot of that that kind of gets put together. And that's kind of what I've been outlining and kind of really working on and trying to figure out exactly how I want to structure it so that people benefit in the best way possible. And also, it will help our programming as well. Like when we actually do more of our yoga classes that we can offer for free, it will actually probably be through these resources that are programmed and structured as well. So, there's a lot of benefits to taking the time early on in this process of putting the Bhakti House together to, developing this stuff on the front end so that as we move forward, we have that consistency that is so necessary, like when you're putting together programming and different things. And so we're moving more toward the nicer months here in Michigan. It's April right now. We've gotten rain in the past several days. It is chilly outside. Right now it's actually 40 degrees and it's about 7:30 at night. May not sound really all that cold, but it's been windy and the early part of the day, stuff like that, it was down in the 30s, low 30s and so on. So um and then last night in the 20s. So, that's the kind of thing that you get. So the what some people take for granted just in terms of being able to go outside and like change your oil, for example, or uh, just go work out in the yard and do things that need to get done. When it's really cold outside, it becomes more challenging, to do some of these things. So as we get into these nicer months, some of these activities that need to get done, we have the grass at the Bhakti House, for example. Um, there's outside work that has to be done. There's all these kind of activities that need to happen. And for that to work, we have to be strategic in how we use our time wisely. And this is the kind of things that people just don't realize, like you just don't understand that, um, when you only have a short window to get all these activities done, you've got to really like get on it and stay very focused. And in doing that, it actually takes you away from doing other activities such as creating the different frameworks and things that will assist the Bhakti House, as we continue to develop and to grow as a community. So these are kind of things that I just wanted to kind of share and different things, um, you know, just as a servant here, the servant directorship here at the Bhakti House. Um, my primary role is to help the devotees to share and to actually um, develop and grow spiritually, but also to also just be a resource for you guys to help in whatever ways that you want to contribute or help the Bhakti House, and how we can serve and share together our resources to help communities, other individuals, people in need, and that type of thing, which is super huge and a big part of our mission here at the Bhakti House. So it's kind of a lot of those kind of things. So whether we're playing our kirtan and playing music and learning a new tune every week, or we're learning how to prepare a different devotional dish to offer to Krishna and to give to the devotees and give to everyone, really, for that matter, to maintaining health and wellness, understanding like what that means from Ayurveda and yoga and pranayam and all these different things that many of us who grew up in India or grew up in spiritual communities really take for granted that a lot of people just don't understand or really recognize. It's that giving back. It's to share and to propagate this knowledge in the hands of everyone, and that's what Srila Prabhupada was doing. That's what my Guru Maharaj does, and that's the same mission. Is to continue that work and to do it in whatever uh, ways that I'm able to do, whichever ways I'm able to do. That's it. And then also for all of you as well, whatever ways that you're able to help or contribute or you know uh, move forward this movement, this community, we do the best that we absolutely can, and we try to continue growing in that regard. What we can do today maybe is less than what we'll do tomorrow, but it's a start. And I always say that if you just start doing something, no matter how hard it may seem or how impossible, difficult it will seem, and just keep doing something else and then something else and something else, and just trusting God, then things will happen, like you will be successful. Um, and you'll continue to become more and more successful as the time goes on. As they say, like Rome wasn't built in a day. It took one brick here, or another brick here, another brick here. And now, if you go to, like, say, the Vatican, for example, or any place really in Rome where you see all these old buildings, you have to stop to think that someone once upon a time was just hurting that brick, 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 mortar, and so on. And that's what we're doing here as well. One book at a time, one step at a time, one mantra recitation at a time, and that's what we're about. That's what we're doing. Nothing that you do for God and for the devotees is wasted. These are all like everything in life for the most part. Like whatever it is, whether it's a cell phone or a book or anything, nothing lasts forever. Maybe the wisdom does, uh, but the object itself, even this body, one day will cease to exist. And it's just that's material life for you. But what does continue on or remain is all of the things that we do actually for God. So if you struggled with that, or if you just want to experiment, whether you believe in God or not, is that's for you to decide. We're not here to determine that for you or to try to persuade you or manipulate or any of that kind of stuff. More of what we do is we just say, hey, if you're interested or you'd like to find out more, um, we're here for you. We're here to support whatever step you're at, wherever you're at along your journey. That's essentially where we're at here for you. We're not here to judge you. We're not here to um, try to persuade you in a certain direction or anything like that. It's not anything at all what we're about. We're just here to love you and to care for you and to assist you and help you and serve you. That's it. That's our mission. And if that resonates with you and you would like to learn more about spirituality, we would definitely love to have that conversation and stuff with you. But more on your terms, not as much on our terms. And and if you have questions about any of our spiritual books or anything like that, you can always write in on the contact form, or just if you want to email me directly, you can just go to Chandra at thebhaktihouse.org. It's my email address here at the Bhakti House, and we'll get with you on that. All right, devotees, it's 7:39. We've been on this call for about 40 minutes now, and I didn't think it was even going to last that long. I thought we would just pretty much talk about some of the things that we've been up to, kind of the plans for the future, some futuristic things that we have moving forward. Um, and that would be pretty much it. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Easter if you celebrate Easter. Here in the United States, it's a huge holiday. You go to any of the stores, there's so many like Easter eggs and Easter candies and all these kind of things that um, I saw a family today, and they were making Easter eggs for their young daughter. all around their property. And I just, I was, not being a creepy weirdo or anything like that, but just I was just taking notice, and they were putting the eggs out and stuff, and then they had a nice little Easter egg hunt for her and stuff, and I just thought it was really, really sweet, really nice, and it kind of brought the family together in kind of a meaningful way. And it was making me think, as I was experiencing that and witnessing it, making me think that, like all traditions, all communities have kind of their traditions and, their rituals or their holidays or, the things that kind of connect them. And Easter is a big one for many communities. So, anyway, I just thought I would share that with you guys. Um, and yeah, so anyways, that's pretty much it. Check out the website if you want to help us out and you're interested in any of the books. Feel welcome to order the books on Amazon. And like I said, all of the monies that come through these books, all of that goes directly to the Bhakti House, and all of our expenses and everything. We make everything very transparent for you guys. If you want to give a bigger donation, or if you want to just give a donation in general without getting a book or anything like that, maybe the books don't really interest you as much, you're welcome to do that as well. And the best way to do it is through Zephy. And if you go to our homepage on our website, you can scroll to the bottom and you'll see like kind of the Zephy where you could do like a membership if you want to, or you could just give a one-time donation if you like. And what's nice about Zephy is that we don't get charged any fees for your donation. So if you donate $100, it's not like PayPal that might take like 2.99%. So for every $100, give $3 away, to PayPal that they charge us. Zephy doesn't do that. Whatever you donate, that 100% goes directly to the Bhakti House. So if you donate $100 actually will go to the Bhakti House. And you know, it seems to work pretty good. So right now, Zephy is a nice partner for the Bhakti House, in terms of making sure that we get the most through people's donations as possible, so that we can use the monies um, conservatively to do the most good. And that's a big part of what we're doing. So, all right, devotees, if you have any questions or you need anything, I'm Chandravardhana Chaitanya Das, and I'm here for you. Much love, many blessings, and we will see you guys on the next episode of the Bhakti House. Bye,